Hello everybody, welcome back to Language, Litigation, and Integration, part 128, Casual Conversations 53. So, talking points and current events. We'll start off with another wonderful diagram. This is another extremely NASA verified, Pentagon verified, Interpol verified, aliens verified charts of the human progress and development and the overall sentiment of our species. So in physics, in theoretical physics, when we're not modeling force as a particle, which is fundamentally impossible, so that's still completely incorrect. We're still doing that at school, all universities over the country or the globe. But I thought we could, here's our y-axis. We have t, time moving up, forward. So typically with t on the x-axis, but we're going to put that on the y-axis, and here's our universal light cone. And so in physics, I forget that what's this shit supposed to mean, but it's supposed to model the whole universe. So this is modeling the whole sentiment of the human species. So at the very base of our light cone, we have fucking retards. That's you people. And that makes up 97% of the human sentiment. This is people that don't exercise. This is the whales that you see at McDonald's and theme parks. Then we have a little bit of business owners or business people, just somebody with a little bit of career ambitions. That makes up about less than, or a little bit more than 2.9% of the human sentiment. Then we have politicians. Then we have 0.1% that makes up 0.1% of the human sentiment. Then we have a thick, girthy layer of narrative. And so our politicians are drawing most of their voting policies by the fucking retards, the base class of privileged people. And so they pull those up and they level that off through narrative, and then that is fundamentally bounded by denial. And so even if we run out of narratives, which are literally infinite, as we see here by this NASA confirmed constant of infinity, narratives are infinite because of insecurity, then even if those fail with facts and you put a proof on the internet, well, we can just deny it and not look at it. And so, bam. So if we ever cross the event horizon of getting closer to normal behavior, we will have 420 blaze it faggots. Cannabis will be legalized because it's medicine. And when your cells are stressed, they express ligands that accept cannabinoids. And so, bam, 420 blaze it faggots and legalize all drugs, but like LSD, mushrooms. Again, does that really help you think better? Does any drug help you think better? No. They just help you limit stress, and those drugs help you limit stress pretty without choice, as opposed to like cocaine, which I've never done. I can barely do 35 milligrams of coffee. But we'll legalize, we'll make sensible drug policies, because again, all of these freedoms we have. We'll make sensible I think I just said gun regulations, but drug policies. And then again, we'll admit aliens are real, because we'll be talking about that today. We had some more comments from other people. But again, aliens being real is not the biggest discovery in science. It is what it is. Identifying the form of all solutions for science and mathematics. That's me. That's just literally all me. I posted up on the internet, lecture series to go along with the paper, already done, check. Good job, Brad. So we'll be going over a quote about that. But again, it's not the aliens, it's not the UFOs that are most important things. You can come out and say, yep, we have UFOs flying around all the fucking time. We have no idea what the fuck they are, even though we do it because it's fucking aliens. But that still is not going to produce the form of all solutions. It isn't. So good job, Brad. So after we admit we've been denying scientific data for a solid 70 fucking years, then we can maybe publish the paper that is being taught to all of our kids in all of our classes right now anyway. But again, are we going to follow our own laws? No. We're just going to steal from Brad, teach our kids anyway, and again, transmit our narratives through the species. Every time I turn on the TV and someone's saying it is what it is, or using some sort of analogy that I've used, you're literally learning my argumentative behavior and transmitting it to your kids and to your colleagues and to your friends and family. So just keep stealing from the scapegoat. Double check. Then if we get ever past that, which again is legally obligated to do so,
So in other words, illegal to not do so. But do we have laws in this country? No, completely optional. What is the sentiment? What is the narrative of the species? That is what we have to do. Politicians, law enforcement, business owners, and the fucking retards. So bam, that's where we're headed in. But if we could ever cross that, then we can get up to economic improvement. Actually real economic improvement. Which, are we doing really good today, guys? Oh no, mortgage rates hit 6.9%. Sick. Well, buying cash, you poor people, you fucking retards. Check. Then we can have better labor markets. Inflation might not be 69% by the end of the year. And then we can reach overall increase in the human sentiment. And bam, we have economic opportunity. Everyone's improving. We have good quality relationships. We have good families. We care about each other just enough to not blowing away third graders. And this is the final step. We stop blowing away third graders at school. So, that is our light cone. And if we can ever progress through there, I have a great conjecture. How long will it take us to reach this? And here, I have ... under we stop blowing away third graders. And I think most people would agree, even the people down here in fucking retard land and stuck under narrative and denial, that would be considered normal. So we're going to go for the goal of normality, normal behavior through most of the species, and at the very limit, stop blowing away third graders. So what is my conjectured estimated time to normal? About 350 years. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. 420 is real. Oh, and we also have to get in there again, an actual historical account of what spread the word of God means, of what the actual historical record was of linguists are. But just get it all proven on the internet. You just have to click videos and listen and not say, no, deny, this doesn't fit in my sentiment of my narratives of the whatever it is, whatever bullshit I want to deny. Nah. So there we have it. That is our current sentiment model of the human species. So now we'll be getting into the talking points and current events. So, actually, obviously this one's a super serious one. We'll see, but just random talking points. But we have to start off with one of the most important news stories that have ever broke ground here in the human species. Because again, we've talked a lot about law in this series, and I will be doing more formal history lessons. It's just bought a house recently, so I'm just kind of getting that shit figured out. But a lot of content coming up. But the biggest story, and actually fucking hilarious, but in terms of law, you shouldn't be able to be a demonstrable hypocrite and then being able to regulate legislation in any fucking way. Case in point, Lauren Boebert was a paid escort with at least 2 abortions on SugarDaddyMeat.com. I'm going to throw up a picture of her very attractive profile pictures right here, so take a look there. And a while back, Elon Musk got a direction from Bill Gates. I don't know, man. Bill Gates' stomach might be a little more attractive than Lauren Boebert. What do you guys think? Drop a would you smash or pass in the comments. Smash or pass Lauren Boebert. But some very, very attractive profile pictures. Fucking not. But we have to ask the question. A very important question is, did Ted Cruz lay pipe? Read some Reddit threads with a lot of connections seeming to link up, but was one of the abortions Ted Cruz's spawn? And again, we have very, very substantial data to assert that Ted Cruz is actually the Zodiac Killer. So, this is all really coming into play. Lauren Boebert, who recently said Jesus didn't have enough ARs to prevent the crucifixion, maybe her and Ted Cruz were planning. Maybe they're reptilians. No, we can't disrespect reptilians. They're just freaky fucking humans, and they were going to take over. Ted Cruz is going to spawn more Zodiac killers with Lauren Boebert, and then maybe Lauren caught on to that and had to get the abortions. But in all seriousness, again, I'm sure, I don't know Lauren Boebert's voting history, but if Republicans, she's going to vote against abortions, and then she has one. Kick her out yesterday, for demonstrable hypocrisy. If we want to reach this point of increase of overall sentiment, which is 15 steps away of where we're at, then we can't have people like this. Again, the Supreme Court, this should be held to your elected officials. This one, Lauren Boebert, this one, we should be holding her. That's our elected official we're going to go with. That one. And a lot of them like her. So, again, narrative, actual fucking real life, it's not consistent. Pretty inconsistent. But Ted Cruz having babies with Lauren Boebert to spawn more Zodiac killers, 99% confidence level interval on that one. Jesus didn't have enough ARs to prevent the crucifixion. No, Jesus had snitches for friends, you know. Jesus, 2,000 years ago, they didn't have cell phones. The Roman army had Judas say, where's the big homie Jesus at? So Jesus didn't need ARs to prevent the crucifixion. He just needed snitches on his squad, yo. So, pretty historically inaccurate on that one. And again, Jesus would not be inconsistent in biological law in any capacity whatsoever. But that was absolutely fucking hilarious, the Lauren Boebert and Ted Cruz thing. I saw a baby turtle lay some eggs. So, random story. So I want to walk around my apartment building, and here was this, I just learned to put pictures in my YouTube videos, so I'm not going to overdo it. But I found this turtle. It was right here. I was walking around my apartment building, and this turtle was doing this like weird thing. It had a lot of like mud. You can see it in the picture. It had like a lot of like mud, so I wasn't sure if it was like diarrhea, or if it was like dying, or if like a dog bit off its leg or something. But I couldn't tell what it was doing. So it was just like kind of wiggling around, and it was pretty far away from the water. And this is a big turtle. I told you about rescuing a baby turtle. This is a big turtle. And so, pick up the turtle, and right when I pick up the turtle, I realize it's laying eggs. So it's literally laying eggs. I don't know if there wasn't like an egg popping out of her at the time, but there was like a hole with like 5 eggs. And I'd seen sea turtles wiggle around on the nature channels before. I didn't recognize it as laying eggs. But, so I was like, I felt so bad. It's like, this turtle's literally laying eggs, and I'm like picking it up. But I set it back down. It covered back up the eggs, but they're not in a good position. Mama turtle, it's pretty far away from the water. I'm not sure how the baby turtle's going to find their way. There's a lot of dogs. It's right next to the sidewalk. So, but I saw a turtle lay some eggs. I very briefly watched Robin Hansen on Lex Friedman's podcast, number 292. Again, just flipping to absolutely random parts, and he literally cannot stop stealing my intellectual property. I literally flipped to one thing, and he says, this is where he says, and I quote, "We have just achieved the last step," talking about fundamental physics. Now, no, this is me. This is entirely me. The entirety of society today, right now, you try to publish a paper, they are still in complete fucking denial. Sergeant Bill Kosinski will say, "I know something about you, but I'm not going to enforce the law," and then harass me and torture me. So you guys did nothing. I would say you guys did nothing, but you actively slowed down the progress of the human species. For real. Legitimately. So Robert Hansen, I get that you work at some college, you have a lab full of group of people that respect you. You slowed down science, and you're just in a group so big that you can't accept responsibility for your actions. And academics are the most pathetic fucking trash that have ever fucking lived. I can't eat properly because you guys won't let me fucking socialize to any capacity whatsoever. You guys did nothing, except you hurt people. That's what you did with your life and your career and your legacy. It's not changing. And so no, you did not do anything. Because again, I said, who is we and what is that? It is what it is. It's me. But then I just flipped to literally another random section of the video, and the first word I hear Robert Hansen say is speciations. Speciality, speciations. Direct theft of intellectual property without citation. On a paid program. And it's everybody. And it just, is Brad Boas allowed to fit into this world? Boas? No, I'm just not. The group is too big, the entire species, every academic, every university, just like the FBI agent who cleared his belt, you could go anywhere. No, I literally can't go anywhere. Demonstrable empirical fact, I can't. I've been offering substantial money for 18 months, overall really for like 4 or 5 years. So I can't do anything. I would like to stop being tortured so I can feel safe enough to eat food. It has not stopped. This is me literally documenting crime. So I just turn on a random science podcast, word for word stealing my fucking proofs. But in all actuality, they said something about speciality on land versus sea, or the ocean, which is an interesting, intuitive point for me right now. Words have meaning. Different words have different meaning. What's the difference between the ocean and the sea? But what's the effect of differentiation for sexual antagonism, shape of body, anatomical differences between land and sea? They talk about there being much more diversity on land. I just think the utility, right? The ocean, if you're underwater, you're going to have to swim. So you might have different colors or different sized teeth or whatever. But land, the way you interact with the environment, has a lot more natural topography. And there's still a lot of differentiation in the ocean as well. But just how differentiated is your environment, that's how differentiated your functionality would be. And all of the quotes again, because we had some Russia's comments on UFOs, and China announces it might have detected an alien civilization. No, everyone is just lying. People have plenty of data. People have organized this stuff. It's reason we can't get to it is what it is because we have to get through aliens are real first, and we can't get through actual human history because the fucking retards can't grow up. Actually, like, it's kind of funny, but it's just true. People don't know how to behave. But Russia's comments on UFOs, basically saying they've been researching them for a while, and they say they just have LOL, 99% can be explained. No, again, from just the two U.S. reports went from 114 to over 400 sightings. The first 114, we said only a handful could be explained. And then fast forward a whole 18 months later, and they say over 400. Well, only a handful can't be explained. Absolute fucking bullshit. These people are completely incompetent. I mean, it is such a violation of my rights and my discoveries, which is, again, the last step of scientific discovery. I did that entirely, completely. I'm gonna fuck you guys. I have data out the fucking wazoo. Again, I can show you how to live stream aliens, man. And people want to fucking play some stupid-ass fucking game. China, investment bias. They built this big fucking telescope and you need a bottle of water, a vibrating plate that can tune to frequencies, and a camera. So, investment bias paired with lying. And again, yeah, Russia. I just have to stick with the Novichok, guys. Yeah, Russia is super honest and straightforward in their governmental dealings. But the amazing thing is they aren't, but because aliens are fucking real, which is, again, as scientifically inevitable as bugs being in the fucking woods. And are there bugs in the woods? Yeah, a lot of them. A fucking infinite, we can't define them all. Speciality is unlimited. And so, again, I've given like 10 lectures specifically on fucking aliens. And again, the data of people walking by and telling and confirming these things to me in person. So it's like, again, that's how big things would be disclosed to the people discovering them in person. Again, like Sam Harris saying, people are approaching me in private. Yeah, same. Oh, they keep coming into my house too. Yeah, like every fucking week. So, and we keep lying, but I don't know what we're doing. But just go fuck yourself. Yeah, Russia, stick with the Novichok. China, stick with drowning babies. Because again, human behavior will consolidate profoundly more than 7% is which we're at. 97% of people cannot behave whatsoever. So again, we might even be dropping down to 3%. Again, nobody has any maturity besides me. Literally fucking nobody. But it's theft of intellectual property at the highest level ever. I can't start a family because of it. Again, forget aliens. It is what it is. It's a step higher of the most profound scientific discovery ever. I did that entirely me. Forget aliens. Everything you were teaching your children at school and any department at this point is directly influenced by what I've proven. Sean Carroll, we can't keep up. So what the fuck do you think you were teaching your kids? Theft of intellectual property, don't cite your sources, and ruin Brad Boas' life profoundly and continuously. Just never fucking stop torturing another human being because we don't feel responsibility for our actions. Nice. So, but just out of all the, again, I've covered a lot of the quotes, and I literally lecture on this shit every single night. But the biggest thing that I've heard said to me is, you have big teeth. And that would definitely affect pronunciation. Meaning any species that vocalize, they have the same set of sounds. We're subjected to the same 3 dimensions. So our big teeth would certainly affect our pronunciation. So like the actual, like the sound and articulation of English or of any language. So my guessing is the amphibians, again, just human word for, again, I've been at a gas station and saw somebody, just individual, just like thicker, bigger bone structure. Kind of like Tony Robbins' giant type of deal, but just different. And then I'm sitting up here on my porch one day and I say, they look different. And somebody walks by and go, yeah, they do. So I'm thinking we have big teeth. Again, I've already lectured on that specifically, but it would definitely affect our pronunciation. Because, again, in eyes, you might be, and if moles don't really use their eyes, so if you're deep underground, earth or other places, you might not necessarily use visuals all of that much, but you would still have a mouth for food. So I'm thinking the mouth would be kind of like the most relevant place for vocalization, and obviously that's intuitively true, but we just don't know without all the data. But our big teeth would certainly affect our pronunciation. So last thing from the Lex podcast, and again I watched like 10 minutes of this just flipping around, but Lex goes, yeah, conspiracy with thousands of people has occurred and continues to occur. Lex, you are a part of a conspiracy. To break laws in a group of people, no matter how many people are involved, no matter how many people say it's okay or it's the right thing to do, it's a conspiracy. This is the largest conspiracy that has ever occurred, and I'm documenting it every day. I'm going to fuck you. If I'm alive to see this world change, this world can't stop blowing up its own fucking buildings. We certainly can't stop killing third graders. And so there's no scenario on planet Earth in which people feel responsibility. Lex saying this statement, conspiracy with thousands of people has occurred. It's occurring today. It is occurring every day. I wonder how many people right now are watching my videos behind closed doors, stealing from me. Every single one of you are part of a racket. Every single one of you are part of a conspiracy. Every single one of you are part of being just so indecent that you can't fucking qualify as a human fucking being. You don't have morality. You don't know how to behave. Don't die, reproduce, think. You're so privileged you don't have to think about not dying, and you're so fat all you have to do is think about coming. You're just children that never grew up, and you don't feel responsibility for your actions. So that was the last thing I saw on that podcast. But another historical intuitive thing that's definitely struck me recently is turn Jesus in the Bible. Don't turn your cheek 7 times, but 77 times. The relevance of the number 77. And again, for whatever intuitive thing, especially back towards Canada in 2013 time frame, whenever that senator stood up and was like, UFOs are real, obviously. But I have some sort of intuition that was probably about 77 different, again, 2 that have been here for a substantial amount of time, 77 in the local galactic vicinity to have any sort of influence or presence here at any point in time. And so, going off of intuition, but the relevance of 77 definitely in the Bible as well. Again, the Bible's just a book of letters. It's not like it's history. Again, you can't state history without a bunch of people that go to church on Sunday thinking it's a weird statement. It isn't. Just like spread the word of whatever. Spread the good word is linguists. 50,000 years ago, they didn't know what proofing was. Spread words. But 77 times definitely has relevance to me in just some sort of presence of other species. So again, I have some economics points. We'll see if there's enough just to do a separate economics video. 30 white people were arrested in Idaho, and the charges were conspiracy to riot. A bunch of Proud Boys go into a Pride event. Pride just kicked off here in Columbus, Ohio. Again, we support all people, the rights of everyone, except for the scapegoat of the entire species that no one gives a fuck at all. So yeah, have fun walking. If you can walk, if you have the privilege of feeling financially safe enough where you can buy food consistently enough to go walk around for a day, enjoy your fucking privilege. Jesus fucking Christ. We have those Proud Boys. We're gonna go cause ruckus at the fag parade. Get them, you got them, guys. You guys got arrested. Seeing a bunch of dudes in the back of the van. It was Dirty Mike and the boys. Maybe they're heading somewhere else. January 6th hearings begin, and again, this has been over the past week, so they've been going on. I don't follow them. But Trump's saying the 2020 election was stolen. Ivanka disagrees. So again, once we get through narrative, we just stick to denial. We just keep saying the same dumb shit, and there's so many fucking retards, you'll never have to get past this place of just, normal human behaviors right here. We're, beginning to behave like a human being. And this is normal up here. So, Your own family knows it's because on a personal, intuitive level, they know it's insecurity. People know what it's like when someone says, "I caught a fish this big," and they really caught a fish this big. It's visceral. But nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares about fucking anything. Human species is the most disgusting failure of fucking life, fucking ever, because people cannot change. Really random, but recently I watched Deal or No Deal pretty regularly, which is just like a game show here in America. Wayne Brady is the current host. It's been going on for years, but I don't know, probably like 70-ish ballpark. But it's just like you dress up in funny costumes and you play games to win prizes. And so they have things called zonks, where it's like pick this curtain or pick this big box, and the contestant picks one, and one's a new living room, the other one's just like a banana skateboard, and it's just like a foam thing. It's just like a joke. Zonk, you just lose, you don't get anything. And so I was recently, because they have big boxes, they have small boxes, they have big curtains, they have tiny curtains. And so recently I heard a question that there's a 1-to-1 answer to. Wayne Brady asked a contestant on Let's Make a Deal, and there's a co-host, a very attractive lady named Tiffany Coyne. And so Wayne Brady asked, would you like curtain number 1 or Tiffany's teeny tiny box? And so, if you were ever asked that question in life, you were always going to pick Tiffany's teeny tiny box. It doesn't matter, you put that out into the universe. You just put that out there. So again, if I was ever on Let's Make a Deal, and I was ever asked, am I going to pick curtain 1 or Tiffany's teeny tiny box? I'm going with Tiffany's teeny tiny box. Whatever happens, happens. Mark Cuban, he's back up again. Again, the guy that is worth $4.5+ billion, but can't give me my $12 million, which is contractually owed to me. Failure to deliver. You post a contract online. I fulfill the terms of that contract. You steal all of my research, destroy my life, destroy my relationships with my family, make it impossible for me to enter groups of people, so I can't start my family myself. And then you steal all of my shit and say, well, we're not going to pay him any money. But Mark doesn't. The kid who was tracking Elon Musk's private jet started tracking Mark Cuban's private jet. And so Mark said, you'll have a friend for life and free business advice if you stop tracking my jet. And the kid agreed, because it was endangering his family. Yeah, I basically have permanent, fucking ear damage still over 2 years. I couldn't receive basic health care. I still can't exercise properly because I would go swimming. Even with my shitty back, I would go swimming more, but I can't put my head underwater because I can't access health care. I was literally still selling weed after sending you guys the initial proofings. So yeah, Mark Cuban, man, you have an enemy for life, you fucking thief. You fucking criminal. Your kids are going to go to school and steal from me? And you don't want a kid tracking your private jet? Well, I can't buy a private jet so I can have security. I have to go buy a house in a busy neighborhood where I don't want to live. I like my privacy. I want to buy a nice estate in the country. So what a privilege, man. What a hard-working fucking handout fucking entrepreneur you are, man. Just get your life handed to you on a silver platter. Yeah, I remember Mark Cuban bought a house had $100,000 in the bank after moving to Texas to suck his 5 boyfriends' dicks. 5 dudes in a house, 1 bed. That's actually a joke for my dad, so I gotta quote him. But 5 dudes, 1 big bed. And then after he makes $100K, he buys a $500,000 house with $700,000 of liquid assets, and a starter net worth of at least probably $4 or $5 million of assets I have right now, and my actual net worth is fucking actually infinite. I can't fucking. I bought a house for $349,000 in cash. So what a fucking privilege your absolute life must have been, man. And now you have a friend for life if you don't track my jet. You endanger my family as you endanger my fucking life every fucking day. So Mark Cuban, man, fuck your fucking life. A church and school can no longer call themselves Catholic after flying a Pride and BLM flag, LOL. Still 99% confident Jesus was homosexual. So again, we lie about history, and again, when you put all the pieces together of, again, what I've done, my intuition is literally physically reacting to the sentiment of the human species, and it's provable. I can do this with any person that makes sounds. Anybody. So again, getting the Catholic Church affects accept historical fact? Absolutely not. Will I get death threats for it? Almost certainly. Bring it. I respond in kind. But whoever who serves mankind more, who teaches more. Homework assignment, 3 to 5 paragraphs, bro. So let me see how long this is going, then maybe some economic talking points. And if this has gone long enough, I'll just do a separate economic video.